Hey YouTube, this week's video is another video similar to last week where a lot of the footage was recorded almost 2 years ago. And what we're going to be doing is the 1963 Ranchero has a little bit of a teardrop shaped fender opening in the rear, and what we're going to do is we're going to make that round. And the old school deal for this, as my research has suggested, is that you take front fenders, you cut the round bit out, and then you use that to make the new round bit for the rear fenders. I found two very nice 1963 front fenders, and I did not tell the guy what I was using them for because I think it might have broke his heart to find out I'm going to cut them up. So we didn't tell him what I was using them for, but I found them, I don't know, some weeks or months before I shot the video, and that's what the video is going to be, is how did I go through the process I went through to cut the arch and cut this and weld and that kind of stuff, as well as a few stills of patching and repairing some of the rot that was in both in front of the rear fender and behind and that kind of stuff. There's some photos of that happening. Another thing that I want to bring up is the footage is, the first half of the video is where I did the driver's side rear fender, and it's a lot of video footage, actual videos that were shot, and in it, it actually shows a little bit of me learning how to do it, and I got a better process as I was going along. And so you'll see me using the body hammer quite a bit, and that didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to, but you know, it's there. The video is there. It shows you what I did. After that, the second half of the video, there's a lot of stills, a lot of photos, and so it's kind of a slideshow, and then there's a section that's time-lapse of me tacking in that fender on the other side. So first half of the video, driver's side fender, video, and a little bit of me kind of going along through, explaining what I'm doing, and you can kind of see how I did it then, which was the major problem is I didn't get enough clearance between the two pieces of sheet metal, so I'm constantly kind of tapping and hammering, trying to get that transition between the two nice and flush. The second half of the video, a lot of stills, you know, slideshow, and then time lapse, and that's all the passenger side. And the passenger side went by a lot easier. I learned how to cut the inner fender out a little better, and I made a lot more room for myself to work. And then finally, the tail end of it is a few things where I'm patching some of the rot, replacing some of the rot where I've cut out bad sections. I've flooded the area with paint, or I wonder if it was rust reformer. I don't know. I have some rust reformer. I don't think that's what it is. Maybe I did. I don't know what I did. But anyways, I tried to kind of protect it from further rot, and then it's like these little panels get stitched in and finished up, and so that's what this week's video is about. And at the end, I'll come back and we'll talk about what's next. So enjoy. Hey, YouTube. Oh, it's currently about 10 o'clock in the morning. It is, I think, a Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, 10 a.m. It's currently 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 32 and some change for you, the rest of the world. And it's supposed to hit a high of 105, which is 40 and some change, 40 and a half-ish. C. And what we're working on today, we want to see if we can be brave enough to cut the fenders. So, as it sets, this is the stock fender for a '63 Ranchero rear, and as it sets right now, you can see it's rubbing. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, it's rubbing the tire. And I'm going to do something, and where we're going to see is, I've been told that the old school way of doing this was to take front fenders and you reuse their wheel arch on the rear. Let me get out of the sun. I'm already cooking. So right now what I'm doing is taking a good close look at where I'm going to cut, how I'm going to cut, what part of the fender I'm saving, how much of it gets replaced. I don't know. I was originally told that you take the the left front and put it on the right rear and that kind of stuff, but I don't know if they thought maybe they were rotating tires. I don't know, but I can't see a reason for doing that. It looks to me like you just want to take the right front, left front, put them on their respective rears. I do have two brand new, well, not brand new, but I have two very nice front fenders that I picked up several months ago, and they're in good shape, which is, I know somebody out there was looking for a nice fender, and I'm about to cut one up, and I don't even know if what I'm going to do is going to work, because I don't know if I'm good enough to do what I want to do. But we're going to do it anyway, and this is my before commentary, and hopefully it works out in the end, and I'll have some after commentary where I'm not crying. So anyway, let's get started. All right, so I've given this a lot of thought. I've got more than one line here, but I know which one I'm following. I've given this a lot of thought, where I want to cut it, how I want to try this. And I think what I want to do is just steel the arch. Mostly here where it levels out, up in this area. I want to take it up to about here. We're just going to take this right around, and I think I'm going to have some blending issues with the body on the Ranchero in this area because of the way the profile is very different, but I'll get to, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this arch out like this, and then we're going to try and transpose it over to the truck and get it cut as close as I can. I don't know how far down this way we're going to preserve. I'm not real sure, but I think on this side it won't be much. Where this side, it'll probably be all the way down. I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out. So, of course, by the time you see this, it'll be done. But if you feel like it, go ahead and say a little prayer. I don't know if it works. I don't know how linear time is really anymore. So just, let's see what happens. Okay, I have just been filled with an overwhelming amount of confidence that I don't know if I deserve yet. But just looking at this is going to work nice. I'm trying to line up this body line more or less with this one and here, and I want the edge, this lip, to line up with the original edge here, and I think it's going to work. I mean, I think it's going to work really well. Yeah. Crazy. Who knew? So I got to cut. There's a body seam down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can make that out in the frame here, but it's already, I did a patch here, and I need to do some adjustment because it puckered in a little bit. I need to dolly it back out a little, but there's a body seam down here. There's no body seam in the back, which is fine because this actually lines up, and most of that's rotten behind there anyway, so that's good. I'm going to clean up my piece here. I think I'm going to let this, I'm going to let the back run long. I'm going to go ahead and mark where I need to cut it here. So I'm going to cut the front edge, the leading edge, and I'm going to clean up my cut here, set it back in place, and then maybe go ahead and get a line scribed on the body to where I need to cut. And we'll just kind of ease up on it. I think I don't want to have to fill big gaps.
All right, so I've been trimming away here, and I'm getting close. What I'm aiming for is lining up this body line here, and then at the other end, I'll line it up, and then we'll work it in. What I've run into, though, is this inner fender. I'm not sure, I wasn't sure how to deal with it. This is part of the original rot from the, like this panel was replaced. I had to section this in already once before I came up with what I was doing here. And there's quite a bit of rot here where the fender used to be. It's kind of in the way. I don't really want to remove it. I'd like to put it back in. And I've given this a little bit of thought. And because it's really, really important that I get this all welded together, I think I'm going to leave the fender, the inner fender, where it's at. And then I will pull the wheel, and at a later time we'll come back in and we'll rebuild a new inner fender that ties this all together. But yeah, we're getting close. It's just a deal, it's one of those, you just a little bit at a time. And I'm just kind of trying to make sure I don't overcut. I know it looks like a big gap here. I don't think it is, but yeah, no, it's not a big gap, but yeah, it's just a little tiny bit at a time until we nibble our way down to where it's got to go. I got to trim the end of this right now and get it jammed into the bottom, and then, yeah.
hopefully you found some value in that. It's hard to, I'm not a master at editing or anything, so, but I try my best to tell some sort of story about what I did and how I did it, and hopefully there's some value to that for you. The next thing we're going to be doing, I had hoped to work on the Falcon some more. I did get the new fuel pump for it. I want to change that out. I got a new upper radiator hose. I need to change that out. However, I'm having a problem with the wife's Avalon. It didn't pass smog, and I'll go into the details of that, but I may be working on that this weekend, and I may not get much of an opportunity to do any work that's of interest. We'll see. So basically what I'm saying is there might not be a video next week, but yeah, anyways, I may even just do a video about what's going on at at school. So who knows? We'll figure something out there. I will do my best to get a video out next week, but if you don't see one, yeah, well, life happens. So anyway, till next time. Bye.